missing someone.
Welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to introduce you to the 3 newest amphibians I have and talk a bit about their story, how they're doing, a little bit about all of their tanks, everything like that. A few months back I made a video about getting my baby white's tree frog. He's doing great now, but he has pretty much briefly been shown in videos since, but I haven't done a proper introduction on him, proper update, how much he's grown, blah blah blah. We're going to talk about all of that today. We are also going to talk about Clark's situation. A lot of people are very interested in hearing about his since he is wild caught. He was from the wild. He had multiple issues when I got him, and now he is doing great in captivity, and he is now a captive toad that will be in captivity the rest of his life. We also have a new adoption baby that I got from one of my pet friends online. We met up and I adopted another amphibian from him since he had to rehome him, and I'm going to talk all about him at the end of the video. So the first little baby is Bottom. Bottom is technically not a baby anymore. He is a juvenile. He is 6 months old now, and he was 3 grams when I got him, and now he is 10 grams, and it's just crazy. He's grown so much. He's still growing a lot. He is not in with my big boys yet. Once he hits about 20 to 25 grams, that's when he will probably be going in, maybe more like 30 even. Because my 2 white tree frogs are about 40 grams, and obviously they have to be big enough to the point where they know it's another frog and they can't be eaten. Right now I doubt they could eat him, but still I don't want to risk anything. He could probably still get injured by them sitting on top of him, etc. So he will still be in his own tank for another probably 2 to 6 months, and then he will be going in with the boys. Bottom is still doing really well in his 10-gallon with the background that I made. It's still holding up pretty well. He seems to really love the little white part in the top that I put, like the little tiny container. He sleeps in that all the time. It's actually where I picked him up from today, and he's doing great. I don't think he is actually going to be a honey. The guy was not very sure, so it's a little bit odd, but all of the frogs were just jumping everywhere. They were all in their same thing because they were from, I believe, the same clutch, but they were all the exact same age anyway, so maybe he just put them in the same bin, and he didn't know which was which. He kind of assumed, but he was like, oh, I think it's those two, but like I couldn't see. They were all like right by each other, and he was just like, I'm not really sure. So, and I just saw him sitting at the bottom, and he was just staring at me, and I just had a connection to him, and I just knew he would be male. I just knew that he was just really calm, and I will say he's not the calmest, but he does really well with handling for how young he is, and he's just awesome. He is male. I have heard him croak once or twice now, very tiny little croaks, but I do think he is male. Obviously that possibly could change, but I believe he is going to be male. And I also believe that he is actually just a light snowflake, because right here, I don't know if it'll focus, but he has just little white spots on his sides. He hasn't gained any other coloration. I was thinking maybe he'd just be a very like dull honey, but I'm not thinking so. I think he's just actually just a light snowflake. Some people say I got scammed, but I'm honestly so happy with him. I'm glad I paid the extra like $20 than he should have been, because he's just awesome. I absolutely love him. He's amazing. He is currently eating every other day right now. It seems to be doing really well for his weight and his growth. Last month he didn't gain any weight, but the month before that he gained 3 grams, so he's doing really, really well, and he's gaining weight great. He literally eats anything. He's not picky at all. He mainly likes mealworms and crickets, but I've fed him small dubias. He's gotten very small superworms, but mainly mealworms and crickets are what we're sticking to because that seems to what he's really liking, and that seems to really help him grow, especially crickets. But I do want to get some more dubias in the house for him to have, because he also enjoys those and they're really good for them. So that is Bottom. I don't know if I have anything else to say. He's never really changed personality. He hasn't even tamed down or anything like that, because he's always just been this tame since I got him pretty much. He does jump around a little bit, but not too much at all. He pretty much just sits on my hand, waddles around, and does a little jump every once in a while, but he's still doing great. He's doing solo right now, but again, he'll go in with the big boys. I'm hoping before the end of the year, but I'm not going to rush anything, so we will see, but there he is. This next boy is Clark. Clark is my assumed male, but it's kind of hard to sex them at this young of an age still. He is my juvenile American toad. He is absolutely awesome. I think he's unrecognizable from probably the last time you guys have seen him. He has grown so much. He's actually the same size as Bottom currently, and Bottom is 2 months older than he is. Bottom seems bigger to me, but he weighs the exact same amount, so it's very crazy, but he's still doing great. He's doing great with his eye. He's eating food absolutely amazing. He's very active, very alert. He's out of quarantine now. He's down in my pet room. He's been there for about like a week or two now. He's just doing absolutely wonderful. He's still in his 5-gallon. He's still too tiny to go in an upgrade, at least that I think yet. But he will eventually, once he is sub-adult to adult size, go into a 20-gallon custom build, as long as I don't find my leopard gecko. But otherwise he will just be going in a 10 to 20-gallon tank anyway. Even if I do, he will just not be in my build. But he's doing great right now. He's very explorative. He's very, very active. Super healthy little guy. He was 2 or 3 grams when I got him, and now he is 10 grams? But now he's like 9 or 10 grams. It is absolutely insane. He's grown so much. He gained 5 grams in 1 month. I don't even know how he did it. But he did it, and he's just doing absolutely wonderful. So that is Clark. Everyone seems to really like him. He is eating literally anything that fits in his mouth. I can't even say he likes a bug more than another, because he's just so obsessed. Probably waxworms, but I mean, I think that's every reptile's favorite. And he doesn't get them too often, but he does really, really like mealworms, and he also really likes dubias, but those are probably his favorites. But he does really like waxworms, and I'd be curious to get him a very tiny hornworm, like the ones that are like that big, and see if he'd eat them, but possibly. Might have to try that when he gets a little bigger, but he's just awesome. I absolutely love him. He's super tame. He just chills in my hand. I've taken him out before just to do like editing and work on my computer, and he just sits there for like 30 minutes with me with absolutely no issue. But I don't handle him too often, and when I do, it's usually not for more than 15-20 minutes, but every once in a great while. But yes, he was from the outside, but like I said before, when I found him, he has his eye issue. He was extremely malnourished and skinny. His backbones were actually sticking out a bit. He was wrinkly, which is an indication that he could have been dehydrated. And with all of this being said, basically, since he was born this year, he was not going to make it if he was already not thriving. Like, if he was a few years old and had this... Really, Coda? Hang on. He was basically going to pass away because, again, if he was like 2 years old or something like that, he would have been skinny, but at least he would have been like alive and like doing okay. But since he already had those issues, he was also pretty weak when I found him. Like, all the other toads me and my friend found were like very active and very alert, and he kind of just sat there. Like, he never jumped off my hand. He was just kind of there. So I decided to bring him home, and I was very well aware that he could pass away since he was already not eating. And the first day I brought him home, he was biting at my finger. So I gave him a few worms, and he ate them right away. And within like 4 days, he gained like a gram, so it was just great. He was doing really, really well right away, and he's still doing great. He's very used to captivity. He's very used to people. He's very used to eating out of a little bin now instead of like eating things outside and being in the wild. He's very used to captivity now, which is great. He's acclimated very well. So I'm very happy about that. He's just doing amazing, and I'm very excited for him to be in more videos. I plan to make more toad videos too. A lot of people seem to really enjoy them, and I enjoy making them since they're such underrated animals. So here he is, and we are now going to move on to the newest addition to the family that you guys haven't even seen or heard of yet. And now the newest addition of the Emmy's Pets family. Ta-da! This right here is Buford. He is my adult male tomato frog. He probably just looks like a brown blob right now because he currently has a bunch of dirt on him, but he seems to be happy like that, so you know what? I'm not going to bother him about it. But here he is. He's awesome. He was from Evan's Frogs. He's on Instagram. You guys should definitely follow him. He has a bunch of frogs and sadly had to rehome a couple due to personal issues. I just saw that he was adopting out his tomato frog, and I just had to message him and ask if there was a home lined up. And he said no, and that he would love him to go to me since I've had experience with amphibians, and I'm just obsessed with him. He is a little bit picky. He really only likes crickets, but he ate 2 superworms last night, which is absolutely awesome. And he is blind in one eye and just has issues all around in one eye. It is just a birth defect. He was kind of born like that. So I was told, and so he can pretty much only see out of this eye, or if that's the eye he finds food from, so I always have to put it on this side of him. But he's doing amazing about it. He's eaten twice for me now. So he's eaten twice for me, and I'm just so happy about it. He is a little bit hard to start eating and get in his food mode, but once he is, he will probably want to chow down like 10 bugs, but I do limit him because these types of frogs can gain weight like pretty quickly, and they tend to be obese and known for being obese, kind of like Pac-Man frogs and white tree frogs, things like that. So you just kind of have to watch them, but he's just awesome. He's very chill. He's great. I've only taken him out twice ever, and once to weigh him. The second time I just brought him out to take a few pictures of him to post. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will probably see animals before I show them on here, so you guys should definitely follow me, which is Emmy's Pets. But he's awesome. He is in his 10-gallon. He is in quarantine, which is my bedroom that I'm currently in, and he's just doing great in his 10-gallon. That is planned to where he's staying most of his life, or all of his life. They don't move around very much, so they don't need a ton of space, but it's a good amount where I can fit like 2 hides and a big water bowl comfortably, and he seems to just really enjoy it. He mainly burrows or sits in his water dish. That's kind of most of the time he does, but he's absolutely awesome, and I could not be happier to own him. I'm so glad I got him, and he's just amazing. I'm very obsessed with him. But I'm very thankful for him, and I think his name is very fitting. His name was Mushroom, but I did rename him to go with more of my old men theme, kind of like Clark and Homer, all that. I just feel like those are just old men type names, and that's kind of what I do for amphibians. So I named him Buford because it's an older name that at least Google told me, and it's very fitting in my opinion for him. I'm not sure if Evan watches my videos, but if you do, thank you so much again for Buford. He is absolutely just amazing. I am obsessed with him beyond belief, but those are all of the newest amphibians that I wanted to talk about and their stories a little bit. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing this video, and I just am obsessed with amphibians. Literally, I have the exact same amount of amphibians as I do reptiles now. I'm not mad about it at all. A lot of them are rescues, or I adopted them, which I'm very happy about since I didn't just go buy them from a breeder. Not saying that that's bad at all, especially reputable breeders, but I am more of an adopting, rescuing type of person. But I love every single one of them. They're doing amazing, and it's very, very fun to have all of them, and I especially love feeding time for amphibians. I think I like feeding amphibians more than I do reptiles. I don't know. I just think they eat so funny, and it's just adorable. Thank you guys so much for almost 1.1 thousand subscribers. It is absolutely insane. I'm so, so grateful, and I just thank you guys so much. If you have any other concerns or questions, don't be afraid to ask me in the comments or message me on Instagram, which is @Emmy'sPets. I will see you guys next time. I love you so, so much. Stay awesome. Bye, guys.